podcast, Canadian contribution to infrastructure needs in Africa, with Mr. Alexis Leclerc, CEO of Leclerc Consulting Group. Hello, Mr. Leclerc.
Hi.
Could you explain on the Canadian trade strategy for Africa?
Of course. Canada's participation in infrastructure projects in Africa has steadily increased over the years, reflecting the country's commitment to support sustainable development on the continent. As Africa experiences rapid population growth and urbanization, the need for strong infrastructure becomes paramount. Canada's approach to investing in African infrastructure is guided by its commitment to sustainable development, poverty reduction, and human rights. The Canadian government has developed policies and strategies focused on partnership, knowledge transfer, and capacity building to ensure long-term benefits for African nations and Canadian companies involved in infrastructure projects. Additionally, emphasis is placed on environmental sustainability and social inclusiveness in all investment decisions. Canada, known for its friendly nature and politeness, has developed a keen interest in contributing to infrastructure development in Africa. Over the years, Canada has recognized the potential of African countries and the need to strengthen their infrastructure systems. With a focus on sustainable development and inclusive growth, Canada is actively committed to helping African nations build a solid foundation for the future. To maximize the impact of its investment, Canada actively collaborates with the international organizations such as the African Development Bank and the World Bank. These partnerships allow Canada to leverage resources, expertise, and funding to effectively support infrastructure projects in Africa. In addition, Canada works closely with African countries to understand their specific local needs, priorities, and conditions to ensure that investments match their development objectives. African infrastructure, although having made significant progress in recent years, still face many challenges. Many African countries struggle with inadequate transport networks, unreliable energy system, limited access to clean water and sanitation, and poor telecommunications infrastructure. These shortcomings hamper economic growth, limit investment opportunities, and affect the daily lives of African citizens. African countries aware of the importance of infrastructure for their development have launched various initiatives to address the challenges. Key programs such as the African Continental Free Trade Area and the Program for Infrastructure Development in Africa have been launched to improve regional integration and promote infrastructure investment. These initiatives present significant opportunities for partnerships and collaborations with international players such as Canada.
And so, what are the major Canadian investments in Africa?
The Canada Investment Fund for Africa was created to provide venture capital to invest in private sector development in Africa. The government of Canada's investment of $100 million has leveraged an additional $160 million for investment in 15 individual African companies in oil and gas, mining, consumer goods, financial services, agri-business, manufacturing, and logistics, as well as 2 regional equity funds targeting small and medium enterprises. In 2022, Canadian direct investment in Africa was about $15.7 billion. Also, Canadian companies have made substantial investments in various infrastructure sectors in Africa. Some sectors of particular interest include transport, energy, mining, telecommunications, and water management. Canadian companies are bringing innovative solutions, cutting-edge technologies, and best practice to address infrastructure gaps in their sectors and contribute to sustainable development of African countries. There are several inspiring success stories of Canadian investment in infrastructure projects in Africa. For example, a Canadian infrastructure company's collaboration with a Nigerian government agency resulted in the successful construction of a modern road network, dramatically improving transport and trade in the region. Another notable case involves a Canadian renewable energy company that partnered with a South African utility to establish a solar power plant, providing clean and affordable energy to local communities. Canada is an active partner in key organizations who share common interests in the sub-Saharan African region, and they are working with the African Development Bank, African Union, Global Fund to fight AIDS, La Francophonie, World Food Programme, UNICEF, International Red Cross and Red Crescent Movement, and Scale Up Nutrition.
And what are the impacts of Canadian investments on the development of Africa?
When it comes to Canadian investment in African infrastructure projects, the impact goes beyond just the financial gains. These investments have played a significant role in fostering economic and social development across the continent. By contributing to expansion of roads, railways, bridges, and other key infrastructure, Canada has helped to improve connectivity and facilitate trade, ultimately boosting economic growth in African nations. Moreover, these infrastructure projects have created an employment opportunity for local communities, stimulating job growth and reducing poverty levels. The inflow of the investment often leads to the development of ancillary industries, such as hospitality and transportation, further fueling job creation. With a more robust economy, African nations can invest more in education, healthcare, and social services, improving the overall well-being of their.
And what are success factors of Canadian investments?
Based on past experiences, certain success factors have emerged for Canadian investment in African infrastructure projects. One of the key factors is fostering strong local partnerships and engaging in meaningful consultation with local communities. This ensures that projects align with the needs and priorities of the people they aim to benefit. Transparency, accountability, and good governance practices are also essential in the building trust and avoiding potential pitfalls. Furthermore, adopting a holistic approach to project development, considering social and environmental impacts, and incorporating sustainable practice lead to more successful outcomes. Embracing innovative technologies, and promoting knowledge transfer are other factors that contribute to the success of this investment.
We are now coming to the end of our interview. Do you have a word of conclusion?
Well, on May 23, 2023, the Government of Canada committed to increasing and diversifying trade and investment opportunity with its African partners as part of the Canada Comprehensive Export Diversification Strategy in the interest of Africans and Canadians. To date, Canada's investment in African infrastructure projects have demonstrated a commitment to supporting sustainable development and addressing critical infrastructure needs on the continent. By engaging in strategic partnership and focusing on key sectors, Canada has made a significant contribution to improving infrastructure, stimulating economic growth, and enhancing the quality of life for local communities in Africa. However, challenges and risks remain requiring continuous evaluation and adaptation of investment strategies. As Canada continues to invest in African infrastructure projects, it is important to recognize both the successes achieved and the challenges faced along the way. The impact of this investment on African development, including economic growth, job creation, and sustainable practices, cannot be understated. However, navigating political, regulation, financial, and operational risks will require adaptability and resilience. By learning from past experience and implementing best practice, Canada can further enhance the effectiveness and sustainability of its infrastructure investment in Africa. With the right approach and continuous commitment, Canada has the potential to play a vital role in shaping Africa's infrastructure landscape and fostering lasting positive impact on the continent's development journey.
Thank you for your time today. Could you remind us how to find you on social networks?
Of course. You can find us on the Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram platforms, and on our website, www.leclercconsultinggroup.com. And I remind you that the experts of Leclerc Consulting Group are available at all times to accompany you or advise you on your projects and your organizational strategy. Thank you.